family.
The time is 1 p.m. from Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Láti ìkànnì kànga gbọ́nmágbẹ́ 89.3 FM gẹ́gẹ́ ní aago kan ọ̀sán lù.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
When I become rich and famous, all these faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll be a superstar, flashing lights and cover pages. All these faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll be a superstar. Did you see me in the magazines? Tell me, what did you think of me? I'm a celebrity. Don't you know, yeah, I break all the rules, but I figure that's what stars are supposed to do, just 'cause we're super cool. Don't you know, whatever time of day, be sure to find me in my designer shades. That's how I operate. Don't you know, if I had to do this all again, I wouldn't change anything. The ladies love me and the fans adore me. My super story is one with lots of money. When I become rich and famous, oh, this faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll be a superstar, flashing lights and cover pages. Oh, this faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll be a superstar. No more lining up outside the clubs.
Good afternoon to you, dear listener out there. It's another Monday. Of course, the day is not new, it's afternoon, and studio time is 6 minutes gone past 1 o'clock. You are still on World's Radio 89.3 FM, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, here in the city of Ibadan. You are welcome back to Business Diet with your friend on the radio, Akinwale Aboluwade. With me in the studio this afternoon is one young, vibrant lady. She has a lot of promise, and she's here to join me in the analysis. Her name is Olunike Makinde. Olunike, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone listening.
Let me tell you about Olunike Makinde. She's a university graduate. She's a freelance writer. How is writing? What inspires you about writing, into writing?
Well, ever since I was very young, I've always loved reading books. Right. So, and from there, I always wanted to create my own stories. So I decided to, segue that into making money with it. So what I do is I write books for people that cannot write. I'm a ghostwriter, basically.
All right. Olunike Makinde writes for people who have ideas, but they don't have the writing skill. Yeah, that is very, very encouraging for me at this age and time when people play with their time in the name of I'm still waiting for a job. Right from the university days, she had been writing for people and earning money. Will you say that writing is lucrative?
Yes, I would say that it is lucrative, but you just need to position yourself properly and you need to do the job that's given to you very well, because mostly when it comes to writing and other creative works, just like writing, you work based on referrals. If you don't do a good job, people will refer you and you won't be able to make money.
So you have to really be up to task before you are engaged.
Yes.
That is interesting. And I also know that to be able to write well, you need to read well.
Yes, you need to be a reader.
So it means that Olanike Makinde reads well.
So far, yes.
And how has reading affected your social life?
It hasn't. It really hasn't. You just need to. One thing I think is really important, especially in every aspect of your life, you need to find time for everything.
All right.
So that what you need to do does not affect what you have to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes.
What you need to do. There are sets of things that you need to do.
Yes.
And there are sets of things that you have to do.
Yes.
So one should not adversely affect the other. That is what you're telling us now. Oh, that is great. It means that you are going to be a very good planner.
Thank you.
Without being able to plan very well, you won't be able to identify things that you need to do against things that you have to do.
Yes.
And then you won't be able to itemize and go at it sequentially to ensure that one does not affect the other. Well, that is very great. Once again, you're welcome onto Business Diet.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Well, dear listener, we are going to take off as usual with the business and economic news, after which we will go into analysis. We would like you to join us during the analysis by calling into the studio. After the business and economic news, we are going to announce the studio lines so that you can call in and be part of the program. We would like you to join us. We would like you to air your opinion. We would like you to critique the current policies, of course, the current economic policies of the states and the federal government, in order for you at least to have a say in governance, track the projects that are done, and tell us whether you are satisfied with them or not. Well, let us get sailing. We shall take off with the business and economic news. First, the headlines. Bulk fuel buyers dump middlemen for direct Dangote supply. Lagos produces 6,500 tons of organic waste daily. Loma. Lagos, bulk fuel buyers dump middlemen for direct Dangote supply. Bulk fuel buyers and filling stations across the country are bypassing middlemen to take advantage of the Dangote refinery's newly introduced free delivery system. The refinery recently launched a direct fuel distribution scheme which allows petrol to be supplied directly to filling stations, telecom companies, and other bulk users at no extra cost. Speaking on a live program on TVC News, the president of National Association of Road Transport Workers Owners, Yusuf Othman, expressed concern over the development. He condemned the free delivery model, noting that it was threatening existing contracts between fuel buyers and truck owners. According to him, NATO members who operate about 30,000 trucks nationwide cannot afford to compete with Dangote's free logistics offer. He added that many members are taking bank loans to purchase their trucks based on formal agreement with marketers, which were now at risk of being abandoned. If I sign an agreement with you for service by virtue of 10 trucks and somebody comes to do the same thing for you free of charge, it is a very delicate situation, Othman warned. He appealed to Dangote to consider the survival of other players in the sector. Dangote Refinery began its logistic free distribution last Monday, deploying over 1,000 trucks to Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Edo Delta, Rivers, Kwara States, and the Federal Capital Territory. The initiative also came with a reduction in petrol prices. Under the new pricing, Lagos and other southwestern states will purchase fuel at 841 naira per litre, while Abuja, Rivers, Delta, Edo, and Kwara will buy at 851 naira per litre. Confirming the new arrangement, the national president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abubakar Shetima, said Dangote trucks had already started delivering fuel to their station at no cost. He explained that pump prices would drop at 865 naira to 841 naira once the deliveries reach the filling stations. Lagos produces 6,500 tons of organic waste daily, LOMA. The management of the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, Mr. Muyiwa Badigeshi, has revealed that nearly half of the 13,000 tons of waste generated daily in Lagos is organic, amounting to about 6,500 tons. Speaking at the unveiling of a new organic waste management initiative in Lagos, Badigeshi warned that the volume of organic waste poses serious environmental risks, particularly through methane emissions. The initiative, launched in partnership with Proganics Limited, is aimed at cutting methane emissions, boosting recycling, and advancing the state's climate action commitment. Badigeshi stressed that sorting organic waste at source was crucial to achieving a cleaner Lagos, noting that organic waste dumped in landfill generates methane, a greenhouse gas far more harmful than carbon dioxide. He described the project as a direct response to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's pledge of COP28 to reduce methane emissions and strengthen Lagos' role in the global climate fight. According to him, Proganics Limited has set up a facility with capacity to process 200 tons of organic waste daily using black soldier fly technology to convert food waste into animal feed and biofertilizers. Loma, he added, is deploying smart solutions such as RFID tagged bins and IoT sensors to improve waste evacuation from restaurants, hotels, and event centers. The head of corporate strategy at Proganics, Augustine Ogi, said the partnership would create circular economic opportunities while improving efficiency for businesses. This innovation will reduce pests, odor, and help businesses cut waste bills, he noted. Also speaking, the head of Climate Change Department at the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Dr. Michael Bankole, said the project aligns with the state's climate vision. A clean city boosts public health, attracts investment, and improves quality of life. Organic waste is a resource, not a liability, he said. University Press PLC records 3.4 billion revenue, returns to profitability. University Press PLC, UPPLC, has announced a strong financial rebound for year 2025, posting a revenue of 3.4 billion naira, representing a 29% year-on-year growth. The company also recorded a profit before tax of 619.7 million naira, a remarkable turnaround from the 222.2 million loss posted in the previous year. The chairman of the company, Mr. Olufunsho Ogunkeye, disclosed this at the 47th annual general meeting held at the Kakanfo Inn and Conference Center here in Ibadan. He explained that the result reflected a 378.9% year-on-year improvement in pre-tax earnings, driven by a better sales mix, effective marketing strategies, and internal cost optimization. In spite of the challenges of the year under review, the company achieved a strong turnaround in performance, Ogunkeye said, while commending the loyalty and dedication of staff, which he described as the firm's most valuable asset. He further announced that in light of the improved results, the board of directors has recommended a dividend of 15 kobo every 50 kobo ordinary share. Also speaking, the managing director, chief executive officer, Mr. Samuel Kolawole, noted that the year under review marked a significant recovery for University Press PLC. He highlighted that earnings per share rose from a loss of 37 kobo in 2024 to a positive 104 kobo in 2025, representing a 381% year-on-year growth. This reflects our enhanced profitability and efficient use of capital, translating our success into greater return for shareholders, Kolawole said. Stakeholders at the AGM expressed satisfaction with the company's performance and commended the board and management for steering the firm back to profitability, while urging them to sustain the momentum in the coming year. Before I end the news, the headlines once again. Bulk fuel buyers dump middlemen for direct Dangote supply. Lagos produces 6,500 tons of organic waste daily. University Press PLC records 3.4 billion revenue, returns to profitability. Dear listener, that ends the business and economic news. And we would like you to be part of the conversation as we analyze each of the stories. And to do that, we would like you to call the studio lines. The studio lines to call to be part of the conversation are as follows: 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, and the last one 0911 3333 893. So we would like you to call us as we discuss. Just call and we will give you audience so that you'll be able to speak to the issues at hand. Now, my guest, Olunike Makinde, a writer in her own right. Well, I want to say, let me begin by asking you this question. Nigerian economy, how would you, in your own way, describe Nigerian economy at the moment?
That's a very broad question.
Yeah.
How would I describe the Nigerian
How
economy?
do you see it? Do you feel that it is challenging at the moment, or you see it as, it's flowery and going on well?
No, I think it's disintegrating, to be honest, from what we've seen so far.
All right.
I can't even say things are getting better because sincerely, it's not. Everything is just getting harder and harder and harder with each year. And from what we've seen so far, it seems like the government just wants to make things harder for the people, because I recently heard that they're going to now make sure that it's compulsory for everybody to pay taxes starting January next year, which I think it's a huge problem. And in a country where taxes are actually working for the people, more developed countries like the US, UK, and other places like that, I understand if they want to implement a law like that. Yes, people go to jail over there for not paying their taxes. But it doesn't make sense if you do that here, because we don't see the point of paying taxes here, because we don't see how it works for the people. Our roads are bad. Healthcare is absolutely rubbish. Everything isn't going well for us. So it's not convenient at all, especially for people that can barely put food on the table.
All right.
And they're not seeing what the government is doing for them. You're telling them to pay taxes. So the economy is disintegrating, in my opinion.
The economy is quite challenging, in the opinion of Olunike Makinde. What have you to say to this? You can call us. I dictated the studio lines to call. But if you were not there at the time I was dictating it, the numbers are 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, and the last one 0911 33 893. We would like you to call us, join us in the studio and speak out. If you don't speak out, then you can't criticize the government. You can't say they did not do it well. Well, Olanike, you did say that the economy is quite challenging, and the issue of everybody that is of age has to pay tax. Well,
Yes.
it is really, there is a big question mark on why should everybody pay tax, in as much as what the resources, the current resources, the end does not justify the means in terms of provision of infrastructure.
Yes.
The roads are bad. The roads are bad.
Also, there's a 5%
Epileptic.
surcharge that's
Okay.
going to start taking place January 1st next year on petrol.
On petrol.
So the combination of all of this, how is it really serving the people?
Because the resources are not properly annexed. You don't see infrastructure.
Yes.
Yes, Olanike Makinde does not see worthwhile infrastructure being put down to justify hundreds of thousands of people, about hundreds of thousands of people paying tax in Nigeria. Well, we have a population of over 200 million as the official figure for Nigeria, of course. And we are going to have at least about 35% of this population paying tax. So if we are paying tax, how are we going to justify a situation where we pay tax and we don't get the infrastructure and the good standard of living that is expected? But Olanike, let us give benefit of the doubt that now, by the time everybody is paying tax, everybody will be ready to track budgets. Everybody will be ready to track developmental initiatives that is going on in their own locality or because you won't want a situation where you pay tax and you don't have what to show for it.
That's my problem with Nigerians. We know how to complain about everything that's happening in the country, but we don't want to do anything about it.
Yeah. We don't even want to talk about it.
Yes.
We like to talk about it behind the door.
Yes, I understand why people don't want to take action, because look at what happened with the NSAS protest when people finally arose and wanted to just do something about the state of the country, but it ended in bloodshed. So Nigerians can complain. So even if they implement this, if they really implement the forced tax paying regimen next year,
all right,
and people start paying, they will just complain. One of the things I usually say about human beings, especially Nigerians, is that we're extremely adaptable. You can complain all you want, but at the end of the day, we'll adjust and we'll move on.
Oh, well, if it is, do you know that there is a difference between complaining and offering constructive criticisms? Okay, yes, you've identified really that Nigerians do complain, but I want to challenge us to take it all up from complaining to criticizing constructively. Okay, at the beginning of every fiscal year, the government would roll out its fiscal policies in the name of budget. And there are budgetary allocations to ministry, departments, and agencies. There would be, document to say that, on so road to so road, measuring so number of kilometers, we are going to construct it this year. But you find that people don't check. You got to, as citizens, you have the right to, you pen down, this is the amount that is going to be spent on construction of hospital in my locality. And then at the end of the year, you go check, is the hospital project completed? If it's not completed, why? Is it that government did not release sufficient amount of money for this construction or not? You, by so doing, you will understand why the contractor has abandoned the project midway. There are thousands and thousands of abandoned projects in Nigeria at the federal, state, and local government levels in the country that people are not asking questions about. So when you say, we are feeling the hard time, you are complaining. But when you say that government failed to construct a road that was allocated at 200 billion naira, so amount was allocated, but so amount was released. Instead of 200 billion naira, only 50 billion naira was allocated. So at that, instead of blaming the contractor, you will know who to blame. So I want us Nigerians to take it away from the level of complaining to level of constructive criticisms. Let us track the budgets. When we track the budget, we would know where the laxities are, and then we will be able to make noise about it. So, I agree with you, and I can still recall the NSAS issue that you brought to the fore the other time. But I want to say that, while peaceful demonstration is allowed in every country, it is one of the methodologies that could be used to keep government up their toes. So it is just one. So if peaceful demonstration will not always work in Nigeria, let us also look at other options. Before we protest, let us check what the government is doing.
I understand that, but that brings us to the core issue.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power, as people often say.
Yeah.
Nigerians do not know their rights, and they don't know how to implement it. That's why you see... You mean
majority of
Nigerians. Yeah. Sorry for the generalization.
All right.
That's why you see situations where somebody offends someone in a way that is against the law, and instead of going to the authorities or getting a lawyer, you see people come to social media to complain about it. Yes, social media has power, but you need to back it up. through the proper processes. Because that's the first question people will ask you if you come and complain. If somebody like assaulted you or something, the first thing they will ask you is, have you gone to the police? Have you contacted your lawyer? Instead of coming online to complain about it, you need to do your proper research, know your rights, so that you can stand your ground and criticize the government.
Well, that is an advice for us as a people. Rather than just making noise via the social media platform, why don't we seek professional advice? Why don't we talk to the lawyer? It's not every time that you talk to the lawyer that you pay.
Yes.
Yes, you can check out with a counselor, you can check out with even a lecturer or whoever has to do with that area of your need. So rather than going out there on the social media in the name of I have the platform and abusing people without cross-checking the facts, it is better we do it constructively. Constructive criticism. Thank you, Olunike Makinde. Well, let's go to the news items. First one, bulk fuel buyers dump middlemen for direct Dangote supply. How do you feel about this report? What has happened in this report is that Dangote refinery noted that there are the bottlenecks in the supply chains, and in order to bridge this gap, it decided to bring in trucks into the country to do the direct supplies, cutting off the middlemen that will transport it, thereby making the cost of fueling to be higher and all that. So cutting that long chain will make fuel to be cheaper. But now the story is bulk fuel buyers dump middlemen for direct Dangote supply. And then if you note in that story, there are complaints by the transporters. What do you feel about this?
I'm fully on Dangote side on this. From what I'm reading here, pump prices are going to drop from 865 naira per litre to 841 naira. It's for the good of the people, especially if they're going to be adding that 5% surcharge. We need things to be as cheap as possible. Though I understand and I sympathize with those people that are going to lose their jobs, you have to adapt, because this is better for the economy. And you know what they say, change isn't always good for everyone. Some people will benefit, some people won't. But I feel like this is going to be good for the economy. So yes, I'm on Dangote side.
This is going to be good for the economy, rather than for us to think of me, I, myself. Let us think of the generality of the people. We are talking of our country here. We are talking of Nigeria as a whole. So, well, as much as the National Association of Road Transport Owners are complaining, let them also look at how do we reach a midway.
How do we benefit from this situation?
How do we benefit from this situation? How do we liaise with Dangote Refinery? Let us talk. I remember the late Ambassador Shola Olusola, he would say that it is good to Jojo than to war. Rather than go to war at every conversation, it is good that you dialogue. So rather than the National Association of Road Transport Owners under the presidency of Yusuf Othman to go on protest or to try to sabotage the effort, they should rather meet with the management of Dangote Refinery. Well, some people are kind of skeptical here that this is going to cost us our job. But beyond that, there is always a little window somewhere where there is way out.
Human beings are nothing if not adaptable. Need to adapt,
yes,
change with the
yes,
times.
yes.
That's what makes us who we are.
Great. I quite agree with you. We should try to look at opportunities rather than being pessimistic. And you know what I want to say? Do you know that even in war situations, that some people make a lot of money?
Yes.
Yeah. Those people selling food will make a lot of money. Those in the health sector will make a lot of money. Those in the information sector will make a lot of money because you know where to go to and where not to go to. But I'm not saying that war is good. I'm not saying that battle is good. What I'm saying is that in every situation, as Nigerians, let us try and see opportunities. There is when you have every session so dark, rather than grope and mourn and complain, just look around for that little window. There is strength in dialogue. So we urge the NATO, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, to have a meeting with Dangote. Of course, Yusuf Udman did say that there is a meeting that is ongoing, and to that extent, he would not want to pass a very sensitive comment.
Okay.
Of course, let us.
They should be able to come to an agreement. And, well, like I said earlier, knowledge is power. They need to adapt. Any toba more way.
Yes.
Lo more way.
Any toba more way. Lo more way.
Yes,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And do you know what? When you take your time, you are not too jumpy. You are going to arrive at a very safe haven. So it is not going to be, at the end of the day, these people are not going to lose their jobs. So I believe the man said his worry is that NATO members operate about 30,000 trucks nationwide, cannot afford to compete with Dangote's free logistics offer because, of course, 30,000 truck drivers would not, and their employers would not want to offer their services free of charge, as Dangote is prepared to do now. So now let us find a situation where this association has a dialogue with the Dangote group, and it is going to be better. It can just be better. Now, the other story here, Lagos produces 6,500 tons of organic waste daily. Says that the managing director of the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, Dr. Muyiwa Badigeshi, has revealed that nearly half of the 13,000 tons of waste generated daily in Lagos is organic, amounting to about 6,500 tons. He said this at a forum, and he warned that the volume of organic waste poses serious environmental risks, particularly through methane emission. And what the state government is trying to do is to cut down on the volume of methane emission. Now, how do you react to a situation where refuse waste is being converted to organic fertilizer?
Okay, so one of the reasons I would say Nigeria still has a very long way to go is because of, global warming and the fact that we don't have an effective waste disposal system. We're supposed to be compartmentalizing things properly. You're not supposed to dump glass where you dump plastic, where you dump organic waste. And yes, Lagos is a very largely populated area. Lagos is one of the smallest states, but there are so many people there. So it makes sense that the amount of people is going to match up with the amount of waste that they produce.
Yeah, really.
And the only way to combat it is to have an effective waste disposal system. I mean, there are some places, I have friends in Lagos, when I contact them, all the time. They're always like, oh, Lagos is smelly. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But somewhere that so many rich people gather, why haven't they found a solution to this, an effective solution? It just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that it's affecting the environment, it's not just going to affect Lagos. It's going to affect us all, not even Nigeria, the world. Because you can see when sun shines, for some reason, the UV rays seem harsher than usual. And also, why is it still raining, for Christ's sake? I've been catching colds like crazy lately. I mean, shouldn't the rain have stopped at this time of the year? We're already in the ember month and it's still raining. I feel like this is one of the implications of global warming. And then you see people dump trash randomly at the side of the road. It blocks the waterways, and you see erosion, and that's because of things like this. Nigerians don't have good waste manners. But I'm using myself as an example because I don't just ever since I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. And if you went there, you would understand, to anybody that's listening that went there, you would understand that we don't dump trash anywhere. There are always trash cans everywhere around the campus. Yeah. It's a punishable offense to just throw your trash anywhere. So you just put it in your bag until you get to the next trash bin and you toss it there. I feel like that's how everybody should be living. So ever since I went to that school, I realized that, yeah, this is how life should be. I don't feel comfortable just tossing stuff out of the car or anywhere I'm at. It doesn't make any sense because we don't have any other world. This is the only earth that we have. Regardless of whatever Mars plan they have going on, this is the only earth that we have to live in. We have to take care of it. That's what I have to say.
That is a small piece of meat that fills the mouth. I want to say that is a piece of advice that is worth more than gold. Do you know that a lot can be generated in terms of revenue when you departmentalize refuse, you have the glass in a separate portion, you have the plastic separately,
yes,
you have all that, you departmentalize it, and then organic fertilizer is being produced, and you have plastic recycle.
Yes. That's why
scheme.
these other countries are better than us, because they know how to effectively dump their waste. I haven't heard that in some countries you get money for disposing plastic and glass properly. Why don't we have something like that? Even if it's just 100 naira, everybody's looking for money.
For money, every single thousand of naira matters to everybody now.
Little drops make an ocean eventually.
Well, I want to say that just imagine the volume of money Nigeria will be using to import fertilizer now against a situation where we recycle and we get organic fertilizer, which could be used to fertilize our crops.
Yes.
That reduces our rate of importation.
And increases our revenue.
It increases our revenue. Our foreign exchange is better because we can even export some of these fertilizers. We can
give more than we take.
Yeah. We should be able to give out to the world than we expect. But Nigeria is a country where importation is so rife that, do you know that even the beads that people wear, that ladies wear, most of them come from China. But before the modern age, we have beads in Beni culture, we have in Yoruba land, but we abandon all that.
Yes. Well, I feel like that can all be boiled down to colonial mentality. We don't appreciate our own culture.
We don't value what is ours.
We only appreciate our culture when it's convenient. For example, you see a lot of people that are in diaspora, a lot of people abroad. That's when they're like, oh my God, Owambe culture, Taingele. But in Nigeria, you see that they just take these things for granted. We are so blessed in Nigeria.
So blessed.
Our culture is rich. Our land is rich. We can plant things and they would grow healthily. We have so much. We don't our natural disasters are not even so serious. Other countries have
Well,
tsunamis.
yes.
We have just flood, and flood, if it's well maintained, like I said, if waste is properly disposed and we have good water systems, we won't be dealing with floods
At all.
We are so blessed, but we are just unfortunate that we don't have the best leaders. We don't have people that can utilize our resources properly, and that
Yeah.
is the root of our problem.
The root of our problem. Leadership. Well, leadership is at every facet.
Yes.
You are a young Nigerian and you have a cluster of friends, you have cluster of workmates and all that, and then you show good example. That is leadership.
Yes.
Yes. So I want to encourage each and every one of us to ensure that at each corner of the world where we find ourselves, we contribute remarkably.
It starts from us. It starts from what you teach your child, what you teach your baby. Once
Yeah.
they see you doing, children are extremely impressionable.
Yes.
Once they see you doing something bad, they'll definitely copy you. I mean, it's easy for us to criticize the leaders, but what would you do when you are put in that position?
Yes.
A lot of people like to say, oh, kiniko, our leaders, they are wicked, they are corrupt. But if you are there, wouldn't you steal money too? Wouldn't you misappropriate funds too?
This is a big question from Makide. If you were in that office, how will you do it? Wouldn't you steal too? That is a big question that is begging for an answer.
Yeah, the only one that knows the answer to that question.
Yes. For me, I have my conscience, my heart is there to answer for me. And for you also out there, your heart should answer for you. Well, do you know what was going on in my mind at the time you were talking about people not separating their refuse, the waste, the plastic from the glass and all that? I told myself that the problem that we are having also has to do with orientation. People are not properly informed about the need to do these things right.
I feel like there are several ways to combat this. While I was in the university, I went to an upcycling academy. Upcycling is the process of using waste, turning waste into something useful, like turning plastics into like maybe furniture or things that can be useful to people. I feel like classes like this, once they are made free and accessible, people will be able to use it, and you can even use it to make money and sell these things, and you can clear up the environment that way. If the government can provide free classes for people, I feel like Nigeria will be better for it.
Do you know that you are indirectly challenging the National Orientation Commission? We have the National Orientation Commission in Nigeria. What are you doing? Please, we call you to question. We want you to educate us on how to departmentalize our waste. We want you to educate us. Do you know that if you go to Oje Market today, that is the biggest fruit market in Oyo State, if not in the Southwest, you find that people will use chemicals to ripen fruits, not minding the health implication of that. And, well, if the National Orientation Agency or the State Orientation Agency rises to educate the people, they will listen. But because they don't know, you are not guilty of what you are ignorant of. Yes, we want to scale the stage of ignorance. We want to be enlightened. So let the agencies that are responsible for this rise to the challenge, and we shall be better for it. Now, you are a writer.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you know a company, a publishing company named University Press PLC.
Yes, I know of them.
Okay. The news is that University Press PLC records 3.4 billion in revenue return to profitability. Last year, that company pulled some losses of about 222.2 million naira. But today, the story is different, where the University Press PLC records 3.4 billion in revenue. How do you react to this?
Well, in the world where social media is taking over everything, I feel like this is a huge win
Yeah.
because it shows that at the end of the day, people are going back to the roots. So I'm happy for them. Yeah.
Do you know that for me, yes, just as you said that you are happy for them, for me, I would say, if you ask me, I would say that this is an amazing feat because there is this balance that Africa, if you want to hide an information away from Africans,
Put it in a book.
in a book.
Yes.
It is a very sad statement, but it is true when we look at it critically because Africans don't read. And a continent or a country that does not read will be limited to what that country or that continent knows. That is why Africa is variously described as the dark continent, not because of the pigmentation of our skin, but because of our unreadiness to take up challenges rather than being creative. Our leaders rely on handouts from the federal government. The state government will rely on handouts from the federal government month in, month out, rather than develop the agri sector, rather than develop the creative sector,
Yes.
rather than doing all this. Well, what I have to say now is that, well, we say kudos to the University Press PLC.
Yeah, it's a big win.
Yeah, it's a big win. Mr. Samuel Kolawole, we say kudos, and the chairman, Mr. Ogunkeye, we say kudos to you. And why we say this, we want to encourage Nigerians to take advantage because intellectual property is a very big property. Look at country like China, where the population is far outstrips that of Nigeria, and what they rely on is not oil, it's not gas, it's not gold, but human resources, human capacity. They built on that and they are able to make electronics. They are able to make good phones. They are able to build
That's why you
trains
see so many things made in China.
made in China. So rather than rely so much on solid minerals, why don't we as a people, as a country, look at what way the youth can take advantage of our population? We have a population of over 200 million, and that population, do you know that the youth population is about 65%? So if we expose our youth to research, if we expose them to science and technology, if we properly expose them even to arts, to practices in law and all that, would Nigeria not be better as an industrial nation, and we would leave our nomenclature as a developing country and would become a developed country.
Like I said,
China did not get here overnight.
yes, Rome wasn't built in a day,
Yeah.
like they always say. Like I said earlier, knowledge is power. If we don't know what to do and how to do it, how would we do it? We need to be properly desensitized, properly educated on the way things should go.
We need to be properly educated on ways things should go. Ways of development is a good way. Olunike Makinde, I would say that it's been very awesome having you over with me, and I'm looking
Thank you.
up to maybe next week or another time for you us to have it together here. I hope you won't fail me.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, I want to say a big thank you to you, Olunike Makinde, for traveling this length with me today. And I won't want to leave the studio without saying a big thank you to my producer, Toluwaleke Ali. And I want to say a big thank you to the engineering crew, Omolola and
Irekomi.
Irekomi, I want to say a big thank you for your support. I want to say a big thank you. Until next week when we meet on another segment of Business Diet, I remain your dear friend on the radio, Akinwale Aboluwade. Until next Monday when we meet, I want you to take every day, to take opportunities that lie there in every day, because beneath these challenges lie opportunities. Take advantage and pray, work and pray, and you will have good stories to tell. Cheers. Goodbye.
Rich and famous, all these faces will know who I am, 'cause I'll be a superstar. Flashing lights and cover pages, all these